What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today, and today I have a very exciting unboxing for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video, as I've been super excited to unbox this aircraft, and this will be a great addition to the collection. So right here we have the Gemini200, 1:200 scale Breeze Airways Airbus A220-300. Really excited to have this aircraft. Huge thank you to my grandma for getting it for me for Christmas. And yeah, just going into a little bit of a backstory really quick. So as you guys know, I have a very immense, let's say, fascination for Breeze Airways and their operation behind David Nilman and their really cool fleet of Embraer 190s, 195s, and A220s now. And I got to see one of these at Tulsa International Airport, which was really cool. So it was actually supposed to come in at 4:45, and this was during the winter. So the lighting was, that was right at sunset. And unfortunately, due to bad weather in the Jacksonville area, this aircraft went, it went from Windsor Locks, Jacksonville, Windsor Locks, Nashville, Tulsa. So what happened was it got delayed on that initial leg of the day, and then it ended up getting delayed for the rest of the day. And this aircraft ended up showing up at Tulsa at 7 p.m., very delayed, 2 hours and 15 minutes that is. And this aircraft ended up coming in late, but somehow I was able to pull off a really cool long exposure of it at Gate Bravo 9 from the Tulsa parking garage, which I was really impressed because of all the obstruction, all the factors, and there was a Southwest plane 10 minutes away that was about to take the view and obstruct it. So somehow I was able to pull it off, and I'm very happy. So after all that combined, and my grandma offering me to get me a Christmas gift, I decided this would be perfect. Now I know that's been way after, but it's all good. So the box is a typical Gemini 200 box. You have the Gemini 200, Breeze Airways. Here's the aircraft itself, Airbus A220-300, 1:200 scale die-cast model aircraft. Item number G2MXY1002. Sorry, that was kind of a tough one. I did briefly glance in here because I was so excited about it, and unfortunately it's slightly broken and I've not fixed it yet, but it should be a pretty easy fix. I believe one landing gear is snapped and one is bent really bad. So let's go ahead and take a look. It's been quite some time, but outside of that, this model is absolutely stunning and I'm really excited. So I have got to briefly peek at it, but here it is once again in some really good lighting at long last, and man, I'm so excited for this. So let's take a look. So here it is. Like I said, the nose landing gear is snapped and the main landing gear is too, so there's no worries to be had. So here's the main landing gear. I think it's going to be very fixable, or the nose, excuse me. And here's the main. And as you guys can see, it is bent. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to head and glue it because I want to see the actual model. Here it is itself. It looks super nice. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this really quick, and hopefully I'll be able to get it back in good condition and we'll be able to assess it. So let me get some glue on here and let's see what we can do. All right, guys, same song, second verse. Welcome back a year later. So now today is January 16th, 2024. So you probably saw that clip from 2023. I tried to unbox this and I noticed that it was broken. So that was really unfortunate to say the least. But luckily, Plane Spotter DK motivated me to fix it, even though it would be slightly off. And it actually turned out really, really good. So a huge shout out to him for deciding that it was worth seeing if I could get this fixed, and we did. So we're not going to look at the box again, but it still is in here. So of course, we're going to take it out and see what we got. So of course, we have the tripod stand, which I might end up using because my shelf is getting really chaotic. So it's really unfortunate that they stopped flying Tulsa since I filmed that intro. So what can you do about it? But at least I got some good memories with them, including the inaugural, obviously, to Nashville in June of 2022. And then most recently, before they terminated their re-inaugural service, yes, a re-inaugural to New Orleans. So what a talent show that was. But nevertheless, here is the Gemini200, 1:200 scale Breeze Airways Airbus A220-300 in their current livery. Overall, a stunning model. They did a stupendous job on it. It turned out really well. Absolutely love the various components of it. And you can even see the landing gear, which was the problem. I mean, obviously, if you know that's a problem, it is. But if you didn't know, you probably wouldn't even notice it. So quite a talent show, in my opinion, to say the least right there. And really glad to have this aircraft back fixed for the collection. So we're not going to waste any further time. You all know the drill. It's a good looker, and it's time to see how the 1:200 A220 mold is and whether is it worth it for all of you or not. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. So we have some very detailed cockpit windows up here on the front, along with some nose cone detail. Got some various pitot tubes and inspection panels and all the rest of that applicable detail. Then of course we have the nose landing gear with the busted nose landing gear itself. What can you do about it? Nose landing gear door. It honestly looks pretty good. So you'll notice where we have the curve right here. So honestly came out pretty straight. It's honestly like the 1:400 mold being a little too tall, but that was the only way that I could do it because obviously it bent itself. It wasn't supposed to be bent. So honestly, I think it turned out pretty well considering that it got bent up and all that Mickey Mouse. So really happy with the result of the fix, and I think it looks really good. And again, if you're not paying attention, you wouldn't have even noticed. So really happy about that. Again, we had the L1 door with the lever, window, various panels. It looks really good. Very happy with it. It turned out really well, so that looks really great. Then of course we had the Breeze Airways billboard titles right here, which also look really good. So of course we had the BRE in navy along with the last D's, or last E rather, and then the EZ with the check mark is more in this lightish gray color, I suppose. So that looks really good right there. So definitely happy with their result on that. Then we have the two antennas, one up here and one on the bottom. So that looks really nice right there. Then of course we have the overwing piece here, which looks really nice. Then we have the beautiful engine. They sound really nice. Got to see it in their Breeze's nicest cabin. So got to see what that was like, and it was really cool. So awesome to see that. And if they spin, I'm really impressed, and they do not as expected. So certainly really cool to see that right there though, and it looks really nice. So ultimately very happy with that. There's a little spin around. It's also a very heavy model, which is really cool. So definitely glad to see that they're not just using hollow material like their Airbus narrow bodies, excluding this one like their E319s, A320s, and A321s. Certainly very glad to see that right there. And ultimately, it's a talent show. There's not really any other way to phrase it. Anyways, though, we have the engine right here. Then we have the beacon with the emergency exit, which is really cool to see. The interior is really nice. I got to see the economy plus and economy area, and ultimately I was very pleased with that effort that they demonstrated in all faucets. So that was really great to see. Really good detail on the emergency exit door. It's awesome. We also have this top beacon right there too. So let's see if I can kind of contrast out so you can see what I'm talking about. Looks really great, and that's absolutely awesome right there. Then we have the main landing gear, which also looked really great. So very happy with how those turned out. And luckily they are not snapped off. So very appreciative of that today. So that is really exciting right there, to say the least. And then we got the third antenna, the total. And then of course we had the stubby one right there, as you can see. Then we got the flybreeze.com website URL right there. Then we got the US flag with the registration November 203 Bravo Zulu. And we also have the underneath antenna right there to finish off the reference. Let's also take a look at the wing with the flap slats and speed brake detail. And it also has do not step on, which is a really nice detail there too, so good job. And of course you got the check mark there for Breeze on the outside only, which I have seen some of them with the inside ones. It just depends on the registration of the plane. There's also some of them with the different titles right here. Some of them are just all gray, which is really interesting, and I'm not sure why it's like that, but it is. So quite an interesting talent show right there, no doubt about that. Here we go from the light blue to navy. So you can see back here where we have the US flag in November 203 Bravo Zulu, so pretty interesting there. There's the check mark right there. You can see how clean it looks there on the left side where it looks best. It also looks decent on the right side, but just not quite as big of a talent show. So I'm just kidding, but still looks pretty good. So it looks good there. We also have the APU and the horizontal stabilizers with the outline for them. So that's a really interesting component of the 220. Looks really good. There's also the tail shape where you can see that too. Sorry, that's already getting shaded. The light runs out fast, but looks really good. And the back also looks really nice. So that's really good. Let's sling her around and also get a head-on shot. Darn it. So gonna have to re-glue it, but that's okay. That's my fault for turning it. I wasn't even scraping the wheel. It just, you know, the gentlest angle will get it. So what I'm gonna do is just glue it back and then go straight to the shelf with it. It was a little crooked anyways in the front, so honestly kind of glad that it snapped, and hopefully I'll be able to get it just right this next time and put it on the stand and just don't touch it ever again. Here's the baggage door right here, so that looks really good. And the back, obviously, just as good. The check mark is flipped around, but what can you do? And then looking at the top, looks very good. Got the beacon, that all looks really nice. Absolute talent show. Bottom, you got the Breeze on the underside. Got some really good inspection panel detail. Even the air inlets have the creases, so that's a really great detail. You got 223 there on the bottom. 203, excuse me. GeminiJets logo, all the various details, and ultimately it all looks really good. So sorry that this got a little abruptly ended there because of the 220 snapping once again. I mean, just what can you do about it? It's a tough time, some tan lines. Philosophy, what can you do? But I'm just gonna go glue it, and then I'm gonna put it back on the shelf, and I'll even see if I can do a little clip once I get it up there on the shelf. I'm gonna put it next to the other US airlines. So I'll see if I can get this fixed, and I'll do an outro clip when it's all nice and fixed up, so I won't have to touch it again, and hopefully it won't break again. So let's go ahead and do that. The Breeze Airways Airbus A220 has been fixed, and as you can tell there, it looks absolutely fantastic. So what a lineup here for the 1-200 shelf. It looks absolutely amazing. It's getting cluttered, so we're gonna have to come up with some more room. Then the American Airlines side's looking good. I have a couple of them on my desk, so Can't fit them all up here, but that's fine. And then of course the big two dads are up here on the top, and they look absolutely amazing. So I really hope you all enjoyed this unboxing video. Thank you so much for your patience. It took over a year, but the Breeze has arrived into the collection, and I'm very glad to have it. So with all that being said, everybody, that'll do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank you all, each and every one of you, for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love and love you? My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.